cut all these things out in order to heal from a lot of the trauma, you know. So yeah, it was very difficult, quitting something that, was a part of your life that you used, to escape this type of reality that you were going through. And also saying goodbye to, those friends who really weren't looking out for your best interests. They were mostly just looking out for themselves. And, now that you're sober, they're not there anymore, you know. So, yeah, I had to learn a lot, hard lessons about that. But I had to do it for my own wellness, for my own well-being, for my own stability, when it comes to my overall outlook and what I want for my life. You know, so it's like now it's like I have standards, for what the type of people I allow to come around me. Um, so like I don't allow men around me who are very disrespectful women, and their boundaries. I don't like to be around that. There's no judgment, you know, um, against people like that, because I'm sure they probably have been through conditioning of the mind to be that type of person. But like for myself, it's just for my own well-being, because yes, I still deal with complex PTSD, because it's a physical disconnect in the synapse, of processing emotion. I do things differently. I have to kind of separate myself from certain things in order for me to process things more clearly. That's why I can only allow like a certain time for, certain types of people to be around them all the time, because I'm a thinker. I'm a very sensitive person because of the things I had gone through. Some say it can even be genetic. I'm still looking into that. Uh, but I know that, like, through through the Reiki, it got to a point where I kept going through that, scenario in my head, trying to figure out how can I heal this. If I forgave, if I, forgave myself, um, if I just want to move on from it. Um, I told her, I said, certain things in the environment, it could just be a temperature, it could just be like a silhouette of a person who looks just like, the person who did this to me. It could be something small as that, or, certain smells, in the environment, like alcohol or something that will trigger that memory. So I told her, I said, I don't like that, because it emotionally exhausts me trying to get that replaying to stop. So how do I stop it if my brain can't function the same way it used to when I was healthy? So she helped me with the Reiki, and when she did that, it done a lot for me. So it's like now I don't have that emotional, like strong emotional frustration, um and it's kind of like I only go there if I want to, gather information from that time period, like I am now, to relate to people, and in order to best communicate my experience so other people can understand, like, this is what some people go through. So um that's what Reiki did for me. It really did help in that sense. um so it's something that, I had to approach with an open mind. I was open to it. I was willing to try anything just to try to, figure out how I can heal from certain things, in my life. And it did work for me. And yeah, I probably would recommend it to other people, who deal with CPTSD from molestation or rape, or, sexual harassment. But it does take, first of all, it does take you understanding the whole thing yourself first. You have to try all those methods first. Deal with the emotions, sit in your pain, let it process out, let it out, just let it flow. Because a lot of times those repressed things, Usually people who go through that, they're afraid of being judged, being afraid of being criticized for what happened to them. Um, so usually we need to be surrounded by a really good support system. People who are not very judgmental, who just see things, as they are, and know how to talk to people from more of an empathic heart. People who've probably been through that healing already. That usually helps, talking with them. So I surrounded myself with women who had gone through the same thing, but, were more healed and more in a stable state than I was. So that helped a lot. It helped a lot. And also communicating it so other people can really understand me. Because sometimes I would disassociate, and people would wonder why. Like, why is Vida so, like, not herself today, so I usually had to open up the communication myself. It takes hard work. It's something very difficult to express to people, but if you find the right people to express it to, it can really help. Because we're not here to be going through things alone. This is why we have so many people around us, with different experiences. One of them is bound to relate, to really understand, what's going on within our own soul growth. And I understand that it's all how I look at it, now today. Um, I feel very empowered because now I know how to pull myself out of a very dark state of being, by what I had gone through already countless times. So it's like I know the methods, I know the tools needed, required to, help myself or help anybody else out there, just to make suggestion, you know. So that's one of the good things is that there is some empowerment that comes out of it. True, sometimes in life, like on a spiritual level, there are certain things that happen to good people because, like, in a way, it's kind of setting people back. I learned that too, the spiritual aspect behind a lot of the negative things I'd gone through. You know, sometimes those things are there because it's to set you back and not allow you to grow. It's there to take over and consume you. But it's all a matter of, what you equipped yourself with. Faith got me through a lot. Faith, um, uh, prayer got me through a lot. Um, and, not holding certain things back, because a lot of times, I was taught, like, just be strong. You're stronger than this. You got this. You can do it, and don't, let anybody see you're weak, but sometimes the most strongest strength comes from you being vulnerable, you being willing to feel things out and go through those feelings and not hide from it and not try to mask it and not try to, brush it under the table for fear of looking at it and fear of what you might find when you look at it. So that's one of the things that, I had to learn through that process, is how to overcome your fear with that. So, yeah, and I really do hope that, other people, can really take away from this, what kind of thought processes and outlooks certain people have, when it comes to issues of this type of topic. It's very uncomfortable for people to talk about, but it's very vital and important, because this is something that affects a lot of people every day. People that gone through it and that are afraid to express it and come forward. And so dialogue needs to be created, to have a way of letting this get out, this information, this, awareness of certain people. So, if I could use what I've gone through and experienced, and just tell a little bit about, my story and my things that, I seen and felt, um, if that could help in opening, breaking ground for people to be more, um I guess accepting of this truth that some of us go through, and willing to understand, and maybe there'll be a chance for all of us to heal these parts of ourselves all together as one, and create more of an understanding and compassion, because that's a part of building humanity up. This is a human part. We are human beings. We're humans being something. We're being in our emotions, being in our feelings. We're not humans out there, doing. We're not human doers. We're human beings. So it's important to always be in this present moment of what we're feeling, what we're sensing, and not be afraid to be vocal about that, at given times, because sometimes that one time you express yourself could be groundbreaking for another person to come out and express their truth. Then healing takes part in a more broader spectrum, not just from yourself. It encourages and inspires other people to heal too, and not to feel embarrassed, not to feel, afraid of themselves and what they had gone through, not afraid of, judgment of other people, because, only we can understand, what it's like to be a human being in our own skin, in our own mindset, our own process. Sometimes we share the same processes as other people. Sometimes we have the answers for other people that maybe they have not thought about. And, you kind of just put the pieces together, and that's how I came to heal, is that, I looked outside of myself, and I also went within, and I found some answers, you know. I did it through a lot of prayer, and being grateful, showing gratitude that, I'm still here. I'm still worthy. I have worth. Um, I am safe. I have people who care about me. I'm loved. Um, yeah, that's just really, it's a beautiful thing to come into. That's growth. It really is growth. And I'm very proud of myself. It was a long journey, but it's good. It's still good. I learned a lot. And I've helped a lot of young girls. You get out of situations that were very dark, very traumatizing, and that tells me that what I went through, it wasn't all just about me. It's something bigger, bigger than that, because my story can help other people, my experience, um and the healing part is just really overwhelming. It's like the power is just, ooh, it's overwhelming, to where you just feel like, oh, these tears of joy, these tears of, finally I can breathe, finally I can let that go, you know? So it's a beautiful thing. And yeah, it had made me more sensitive, to other people, sensitive to my own journey, more loving to myself, you know, and more appreciative um of me, because I'm the only one in this world who's been through my path. So, you know, I mean more to myself now, coming through this. And I do have an appreciation for everybody out there who's helped me along the way and contributed to, my my stability and my growth, and everything is just wonderful to me now. Like I just feel really good. I feel really good. I have a really good outlook on life, and I feel wiser, wiser now that I can sense things, that path. There was a lot of sensing, when it comes to, the drugs, the alcohol. You can sense a lot of the darker energy. You can sense the darkness in other people, and that's how you start learning about what love and care really is and where it does come from, and what it should look like, what it should feel like. That's when it starts clicking, like, hey, these things that don't feel good, those are the unhealthy things that I shouldn't be putting, into my environment, especially if I want to heal, you know. So it's kind of like, when you go through a lot of trauma, you kind of have to cut all of the things out that are hurting you and build up your strength, build up your understanding of that path before you're able to get back out there, and be comfortable being around those things. Because, for myself, I know the PTSD triggers, it's tough. It's tough. Because before I was like, after I got sober, I didn't want to step foot into a bar. I didn't want to step um, foot into any place that reminded me of, the past, of what happened to me. So, but like, I had to tell myself, hey, this isn't no way to live. I accept my past. I accept what happened to me as a learning lesson. And so I'm going to face that. I'm going to face that with a fearlessness. So it's like, I go into a bar, I see people, I see the same things going on, but difference is I have changed. I'm a little different. I walk with more of a light inside myself, when I enter that room, rather than being that person back then entering it from a dark place, needing to go there to drink and get away from a situation or something troublesome. Now it's like, I don't need that. Now I'm here. Now I'm secure in myself. You know, I could walk into the bar and not even feel like drinking. I could say hello to people, who are part of the past, but not feel like, I'm back there, right back there with them, Um, so that's a part of knowing that you've moved on, when you can face those triggers, those CPTSD triggers without any fear, without feeling like you're going to be jeopardized in any way, shape, or form, because you've developed the safety within yourself. You develop the comfort within yourself. Um, so yeah, I think that's pretty much what I have to share with everybody. I don't want this video to go over an hour. So yeah, if I have anything else, I'll be sure to make a video and post more of these. The personal vlogs. I know a lot of people like them, and it's good just to listen to when you're at home, or not doing anything, stuff to think about. But yeah, there's more coming on the way. So until then, you guys all take care of yourselves and one another, and be loving to yourself. Be patient, kind, and gentle to the things of your past, and accept that as your truth. And don't be afraid of it. It's the very thing that you can use to shape you into the person you want to become today. And healing is possible. So you guys keep the faith up, and I will be seeing you guys all later. Peace.